Tony's never forgotten where he came from, and he helps a lot of people by providing jobs and sound advice, and he's not only an asset to the Basque community, but to our entire community. He's what America is all about. Tony Campos came to this country from Spain when he was 17 in 1952. My mother, Benita Garcia, operated the Uturi Basque Hotel in downtown Fresno. Like many young men that came to this country to work on the sheep ranches as sheep herders, they would frequently go to the hotels.
Well, they'd come to the hotel because their meals were more like they were at home. They could speak the language because at that time they didn't know a word of English.
One of the things that is so remarkable about Tony Campos is that he came to this country as a young man, not knowing English, not knowing what he was going to encounter. To be completely honest, my relationship with Tony has been one of great respect and a shared heritage. We share our heritage and are both very, very proud of being Basque and being American.
A group of us, including Tony, formed the Fresno Basque Club. And mainly the purpose of that was for the social aspect, to meet all these Basque people and to teach young children some of the customs and some of the songs, the music, and especially the dancing.
And Tony wasn't too good of a dancer at that time, but he learned fast.
Nothing was given to him. He earned it. He worked hard. He's been blessed with a tremendous sense of good judgment and perseverance.
He and his brothers together made something of their own lives and their families' lives and actually created a future for themselves and their family that was not going to happen in the old country.
They started from the bottom and went up. They didn't start from the top.
My mother always pointed to Tony as an example in later years as someone who lived the American dream. He came to this country with nothing, and over the years, he and his family worked hard, and they've become very successful.
Tony has literally developed dream into vision into reality. And that's what he's known for. That's what he didn't see anything as stopping him. There were no barricades, no barriers that couldn't be overcome from being from another country, from language challenges, from government challenges. He finds a way to make things happen. Nobody owes you anything. You have to work very, very hard for it. And Tony is an example of that. Tony cares about his family. Family is very important to him. And it shows whenever he speaks about them, whenever he speaks about Juliet and his children, and especially the grandchildren. I'm impressed by Tony's vision, his dreams. This all started as the dreams of a young man, and look what's happened. Those dreams literally became fruitful.
To me, Tony Campos is really one of my heroes. He's someone that I like to be more like myself. But he always has had his eye on the future. And he had a vision for the almond industry to be better than it was. And I think it's important to remind people that it was pretty terrible over 20 years ago. There were all sorts of issues in the industry. And so when Tony came in, it was a big step to say that there would be stronger demand for almonds. And if we hadn't gotten the almond board on track with leadership like Tony provided, I don't think we'd see the demand for almonds we have today.
Tony's record is kind of a part of the American scene where a young entrepreneur comes, starts with nothing, and builds a program to where he becomes an industry leader. And that's what Tony has done.
I don't think he's ever had to work, in the almond business. It's something that he just loves. It's his passion. And as a friend, I can't think of a time where I've been around Tony, and I've been around him a lot, where it wasn't just the the best of times. Yes, he was the Campos family are kind of competitors, if you will, but they are the friendliest competitors. One thing that's really great about Tony, he believes he would like to see everybody in the industry getting better together. And I think it's a really unique quality that he is so willing to share and help everybody succeed.
Tony sees the need to be able to pull everybody together. And he's someone that we should all look to, of that example, of taking that opportunity to step up and provide the leadership that goes beyond your own company, beyond your own farm, and beyond your own business to do something that's good for the industry, and it ends up being good for the area too.
I think what's even more important than what he does is that he does it with a kind of humility that is not seen. He doesn't brag about it.
He's all about giving back to his community, and he loves the Fresno community. And I know that he does a lot of things behind the scene that you would never know that Tony Campos or the family is stepping up and supporting some terrific cause, but they do that over and over and over again. And so I think he's inspiring for the rest of us here in the county and farming.
Having a friend like Tony in my life really gives me a sounding board. If I need advice, if we have ideas, I know Tony is a person I can go to bounce those ideas off of.
I would like to tell him that I appreciate everything he has done for us and to keep on doing exactly what he's doing now.
I would mention just the fact that we're standing in this almond orchard right now. Tony, listening to this, probably is not really listening to Dad and I, but looking at the trees behind us and assessing how they were pruned, figuring out what varieties they are, and probably he will talk to me later about what we should be doing differently or consider it. And this is one of the things I just love about the guy.
No la sira, Tony, isa non sa Vasco. I'm very proud of you.
Every year I take a bike trip to Europe, and about 5 years ago, one of the cities we went into was San Sebastian. So I think about 30 miles out of town, we stopped at a little place for lunch in a small town, and we got there a little late, so we were finishing up our lunch when everybody was gone. So the proprietor came over to me and talked pretty good English, and he said, well, where are you from? I told California, what business you're in? I said, farming business. Oh, the hero of our town, the most important person that was ever born here is the largest almond grower in California. His name is Tony Campos. And I said, absolutely, I know him, and he's a great guy.